Happy Passover to all of my kindred people of God. I hope all of you are well. God bless you all. Yes, Passover is indeed the festival that you and I and all of our kindred people are supposed to be celebrating each year as this season comes around. We are to have nothing to do with Easter. Easter is a renamed, repackaged pagan festival day celebrating the pagan god Ishtar. And it only happens to fall on the same weekend as the week of our Passover is celebrated. Passover is only for our kind. It is not for mongrels, even though the you-know-whos have commandeered it. And it is not for beasts. It's only for our kind because only our kind are who were liberated from Egypt. And only our kind are whose children were passed over when God's plague of death went over the firstborn of all of the non-Israelites of the kingdom in Egypt at the time. And so we were freed afterward, and that is what the celebration is about. The freeing of our people from Egypt. That doesn't apply to the beasts, and it doesn't apply to the mongrels. They were not captive in Egypt with us. And so, before I continue further, I want to show you this article which further proves that our kind were the dominant people of Egypt. A fun fact that a lot of folks aren't aware of is that in Egypt and Israel, all ancient bodies that have ever been discovered are always white people. They have never discovered an ancient non-white or an ancient Jewish body anywhere in Egypt or in Israel. Meanwhile, they have found massive burials of what they estimate to be, some of them, over 1 million people. This one in particular is the largest one they've discovered so far, and they estimate that this one has over 1 million mummies in it. Now, what's peculiar and what you need to know about this burial site is, beginning at the top of the screen here, read this top 2 lines and you'll see why it's so important to know about this burial site. It proves that our people not only were the people who lived there by the millions, but we also buried our people arranged by hair color. Why did we do that? We did so because our people, our tribes of Israel, are distinguished by 12 different hair and eye color combinations. While all the world's beasts and mongrels have black hair and beady dark brown eyes, our people have 12 manner of hair and eye color combinations. And so our people were buried based on our tribe, most likely. And our tribes had specific hair colors and eye colors. So that would be why we were buried in arrangements like we were. But go ahead and read the rest of this if you like. I'll provide a link after the video is posted. And I always wait till after the video is posted for the link and the title to be put on there because I want the video to stick first. I've discovered that if you put links and descriptions and titles on your videos, sometimes they'll get rejected. But I haven't had anything rejected yet that I don't put a title. If I leave everything blank and I just post it first and let a few views get clicked on it successfully, then I come back and I put a title on it, it tends to stick. So that's why many times you folks who visit right away, when something posts, if you don't see a title or something in the description, just revisit later and it'll be there. All right. So here we go. Everything is amazingly preserved. All right. And what do they find every time? White people hair, white people DNA, white people skeletal structure. We are the only ones who occupied Egypt practically. We're the only ones who occupied Israel practically. They don't find non-white ancient bodies ever in Egypt or Israel. There is no such thing as any discovery of an ancient Jewish body in Israel or Egypt. There is no such thing as any discovery of an ancient non-white in Israel or in Egypt. Now, real quick before I go, I want to show you a quick way to help with your conservative friends and coworkers or family members who are having a hard time accepting that the you-know-whos are Edom of the Bible and that they are not actually Israelites. They are not descendants of Israel. What you do if you run into one that won't let you bring a Bible into the mix and open it up and start really showing them all the things in detail, if they try to reject that, but they're willing to do Google searches, then you can just have them pull out their phone and have them type, "Who is the father of the Edomites?" And then have them read and focus on the very last line of this paragraph. Cram it down their throat. What's that last line say? Who's the father of the Edomites? Esau. All right? Then, when you get them to acknowledge that Esau is the father of the Edomites, and that Esau is the rival brother of Israel, then you can say, who are the Edomites today? Have them type that on their phone. And boom, here you go. Have them focus on the last two words of this sentence. And then point out that it doesn't say, and other various groups. It doesn't say, and the Russians, or and the Chi-Coms, or and the Nazis, or and the Mexicans. It doesn't say and anything else. Only this group, which it says nation, but of course we all know that a nation means a pure blood race, so of course they're not a nation. But it's only this group is what Edom is, or what Edomites are. No other group. And of course they have a story of how King John Hyrcanus incorporated Edomites into the Jews. No, they always have been the Edomites. Edom, the word Edom, came from their father Esau. When he traded his birthright for a bowl of red pottage, he was nicknamed Edom as a shameful nickname. And his descendants are called Edomites because they descend from Edom, or Esau, if you will. So, they are not Israelites. They are not descendants of Israel. Therefore, they are not Israelis. They are not Israel. They are not Chosenites. They are not any of those things. They are Edomites. They are the descendants of Esau. And so once you get them to finally acknowledge that they are Esau's descendants, not Israel's descendants, then you can get them to finally start realizing that they are imposters and that they are the ones who have imposed themselves on us everywhere we go, and imposter is us until they take us over through our governments and boss us around and cause all this madness that is imposed on our people. That it's all caused from them. They show them that it's all explained in the Bible, plain in plain words, plain as day. That this is their modus operandi. This is what they do everywhere they go, everywhere they find us. And then have them read the book of Obadiah. Because your conservative friends will be like, well, why would they impostor? Why would they lie? Why would they want to kill only our people? Blah, 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 blah. Then show them the book of Obadiah. It's only 1 page long. Have them read the book of Obadiah, or read it with them, and explain to them that they understand already what the book of Obadiah says is scheduled to happen to them. They know what God's plan is for them. They know they are scheduled for destruction by God. So, their plan is to ruin as much of Jesus Christ's harvest, that's us, as possible. Their plan of doing so is to cause us to ruin our own selves. And their argument on Judgment Day, when they face God, their plan of argument is that God, we didn't do any of those things. We didn't shoot them with bombs and planes and helicopters. We don't even know how to fly the helicopters and planes they invented. We never even invented a gun. We don't know how to use the guns they invented. They shot themselves with their own helicopters and their own planes and their own guns and bombs. They're the ones that turn themselves into sodomites. They're the ones who chopped their own body parts off and decided to pretend they're the opposite sex. They're the ones who did all that stuff to themselves. We didn't do that to them. So you shouldn't punish us as though we did that, And we've been keeping your Sabbaths, even though it isn't for us. And we've been honoring your Passover every year, even though it doesn't apply to us. While your favorite chosen kind has disregarded all of those feasts and celebrations of yours. And we didn't do all those things to them like you're saying we did. They did those things to themselves. So you should have more mercy on us than you planned on having on us. Will it work? No. God already knows. He's not going to be duped. He's not going to be mocked. He already knows what he has planned for them based on what they've been up to. He will know and already knows that they are on a feverish warpath to cause as many of Christ's harvest to ruin themselves as possible, so that as much of Christ's harvest can be ruined as possible. And this is just like you would see in any one of their movies. I like to call them juvies. In any one of their movies, they have, the villain is about to fall into some pit. And what's he do right there at the end? He grabs some innocent person or the good guy that he was battling against and tries to drag them down in the hole with him. Well, that's what their plan is. They figure since God's going to destroy us, by golly, we're going to ruin as much of his favorite creation on our way down as we possibly can. And so that's why they only target us. That's why they only make, all this homosexual literature and pornography and all these things. They only offer it in white people countries and white people languages. They're not over in Asia offering that crap. They're not in Arab countries offering that mess. They're not in Spanish countries trying to ruin Spanish people. They're only trying to ruin our children. They're only trying to ruin our people. They're not trying to destroy Spanishness. They're not trying to ruin Haitianness. They're trying to destroy whiteness. They declare openly with their mouths every day in congressional hearings and in schools and in public addresses to the nation. So we are who they're trying to destroy. Only we are who they're trying to destroy. Further proof that only we are Israel. And Passover is only for us. It only applies to us because only we were who were in bondage in Israel during that time. So just wanted to show you that about the burial thing, and then also show you a couple of quick ways through Google to reference the who's who of the Bible. Take care. God bless. Happy Passover. You don't have to keep it the way the you-know-who's who impostor us keep it all week. You don't have to do their rituals they do. That's all traditions of them. You don't have to pay any attention to that stuff. All you have to do is honor this week, honor this Sabbath, honor every Sabbath as you're supposed to. Disregard pagan festivals like Easter and sun god worship day every week. Honor your Sabbath every week. Honor your God's gift of Passover, of freedom from our bondage of Egypt. Remember, God reminds us of it all through the Bible. I'm the Lord God who led you out of the land of Egypt. He reminds us of it all the time. It's a big deal. We're supposed to honor it forever, he says. He didn't say until my son comes and is crucified. He didn't say until Jesus Christ returns and harvests you away and I destroy all the wicked and all the beasts. No, he says forever we are to honor Passover. So, happy Passover. God bless. Happy Sabbath. I'll talk to all of you real soon. Take care.